So, welcome to the next part of this lesson. Well, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, do well to subscribe. If you have not watched the first part, you just have to go to the channel and then you watch the first part. So, first of all, we just have to create a directory where we will establish our connections. So, I'm just going to call this folder connections, just like that. And inside here, we will create a new class and I'll call this class DB connections, just like that, DB connection, and it's going to be a class. So since we have this class here, first thing I will do is I will import my SQL. Oh, sorry. I will import my SQL dot data dot mysql dot client. Now in here I have to create some classes, some functions, right? So I'll just say public function and then I'll call this open because we need to open a connection, and this is going to be as mysql connection, just like this. Now let's use try catch exception to catch any error. So before we do that, we have to establish a connection here. So we will declare con as a new connection. And basically this connection is going to be the connection we will connect, I mean, our database directly to. You understand? I don't know if I should explain more for you to understand. So this is going to be as new MySQL connection. You understand? And here we pass in our database structure. So we actually have a server, which we will set it up to a server, which is a local host. And we will also um, add up a user, which is actually going to be root by default, like that. And we will set up a password, and that password is going to be nothing because we are using localhost, and we will set up database. So the database name is actually going to be the name of the database you actually created. You understand? So I actually believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So how can you know your database? You remember we created a database here called student DB. So that is what you have to put here. Then you'll be good to go, like that. You understand? Good. So since we have this, from here, we just have to say our con.open. And if there is any error, we use MSG box. Then we say the error should show so that we can know the exact error. And after everything, we have to return, because it is a function. So we have to return our con, just like that. And we're going to create another one. So we're just going to create another function. So we say public function, and we're just going to call this close. So it's going to be new MySQL connection. Okay. And this two, we're just going to use the try catch. We're just going to say con dot close. Just going to close that. And if there is any error, MSG box, then we say ex dot message. And after everything, we just have to return our con, just like this. So since we have this, we're good to go. Now it's our turn to go to our main form, which is, our main form here. And we start doing some declarations up here. So we have to declare some things up here. First of all, we will declare my CMD as new my SQL command. Great. And then we will declare my connection as new um as new DB connection, just like this. And we will declare um OBJ, which is an object reader, you understand, as my SQL data reader, just like this. So these are the three declarations we actually need. Now, the next thing we have to do is just go to the insert button, double click on that. So we have this to start writing our codes. So then my CMD we created dot connection, we will assign the connection to my connection. Then we open the connection, just like that. And my CMD dot command text should be assigned to something. And you know, oh, sorry. The command text is going to be the query which will insert the data into the table. So um, we will just say insert into then the table name. So what was the table name? Let's go to our database. The table name was students. When I click on this, you see we have students right here. You understand? So we will just say insert into students. Then we assign the values of it. And remember, when we come here and then we click on this SQL, you can see when we click on insert, we will get these ones. So just copy, like highlight everything here up to the value, just highlight everything up to this side. Let's just copy everything from here. We will edit it very soon later on. So just copy everything from this side. Copy. Now let's go here. So after this, let's just paste everything here. Now this is going to be a little bit of tricky, because you actually have to understand how it's going to be. So this is going to be the ID. Let's just remove these guys. ID, student name, and we have the age. It's going to be very simple. We have the class, and now we have the values which are needed to be assigned to, right? So the first one is going to be the ID. The ID is already an auto increment, so we're just going to take the ID out, meaning this first value is not needed. You understand? Good. So the second value is actually going to be the student name. And if you will remember, we have we actually have um a text field which is called the username, just like this. You understand? So that is going to be the full name. Sorry. So let's go here. So with the full name, we will use ensign like this. Just add two ensign. So in between these two ensign, okay, before we add the two ensign, let's add these two guys. Then we add two ensign like this. So in between the ensign, we will just say txt full name dot text like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this guy like that. Just copy that. So we're just going to copy. Let's come here. So this guy value 3, let's just paste this, and let's just paste this also. So we're just gonna paste this right here. So let's see, after the student name we go to the age. So it's going to be txt age dot text, and this is going to be the class. So it's going to be cmb class dot text, just like this. You understand? So since we are done, since we are done with this, we're good to go. Now we can actually go ahead and then we execute the query. So we're just going to say my cmd dot execute non-query, just like this. Now after that, we have to close the connection. So we just say my connection dot close, just like this. Now if it inserts successfully, we will just show a message box. So we just say msg box, then we just say student um s- data saved successfully, right? And we can actually add an msg box style, and this is going to be information just to tell you that the person have saved, you know the information was saved. So I just add a heading called saved. But since I want to prevent crashing, I'll just cut everything, then I add it into a try catch block. Then after the try catch block, I'll just say if there is any error, show me the exact error so that I can actually fix it. Now let's save this right here, and yeah, I think we will be good to go. So let's see the update button. Yeah, so with the update button, it's just going to be the same thing. I'm just going to copy this. Let's first add a try. So I'm just going to say my cmd dot connection should be set to my connection dot open. I'm just going to open the connection. My cmd dot command text is going to be assigned to the update text. So with the update, we will just say update, then the table name, that is students, just like this, right? We are updating this table, the student table, where we want to set. Now we will be setting the student name. Remember, we have the student name. So we will be setting the student name to a new value. You understand? So inside this value is going to be the um text box we have. You understand? So the new value is going to be something like this. So we add this, and in here you're just going to say txt full name dot text, just like this. And not that only we need, but we also need to assign um um I mean, we can use the student name to update this. Then we assign the ID to where ID should be equal to a certain ID. You understand? So we will base on the ID to define the exact ID we need. And remember, we have an ID which we will be using. So it's going to be the txt id dot text. That is what we will be, specifying out with. Now after we are done with this, we're just going to say my cmd dot execute non-query, and after we execute, we just have to show a message box. And I'll just love to highlight this message box and bring it here. We just say student data updated successfully. So this saved is going to be updated, just like that. Nice. Now this is for the update button. Now let's do the delete button. So basically it's just going to be like the same thing. So just going to use the try catch, then my cmd dot connection should be equal to my connection dot open. Oh, I think I actually have to close the connection as well. So I have to close the connection after the non-query. Yeah, good. Sorry for that. So we just have to say my cmd dot command text is also going to be similarly the same thing as how the update is going to be. So it's going to be delete from then the student table where the ID is equal to. So we will be basing on the ID to delete the particular data. You understand? So inside here, we're just going to say we will be deleting the user where the ID is going to be txt id.text. You understand? And if we get it this way, then we will execute the query. You understand? And after that, we're just going to close the connection. So my connection dot close, just like that. And after that, we just have to, save, we just have to copy the message and we paste the message here. So student data deleted successfully. So just going to say deleted, just like that. And with the message box, let's just add these guys here like that, just like this. And now the last one we're going to tackle is actually going to be the show. And that is going to show the data we actually have. You understand? So to show the kind of data we actually have, it's very simple. We have to declare, maybe let's say um data. Let's call this list. Let's just use ISI, as list view item. Great. So now when we will use my cmd dot connection and we set it to my connection dot open, we will open the connection. Then my cmd dot command text is now going to be from selecting from a certain database. So we will select from the table. So select star means we are selecting everything from which table? Students. right? So we are selecting from students. Now, we want to read every data in there. So in this case, the obj reader we created, which is the object reader, is going to be my cmd.execute reader, just like this. And we will use while here. So while obj reader dot read, then ISI we created should be now set to equal to the list view we created. That is going to be student. I think what was the name of it? I mean this list view. That let's see the name of the list view. That is data list view, right? So it's going to be equal to data list view dot items dot add, and we will add the object which was read. You understand? So we will add the object reader dot items, undo that, dot item, and the item will be specified by the ID. You understand? And we will convert this to string because we're going to show the ID first, and that is what we have in there. So now we will add a sub items to this. So we will just say ISI should be ISI dot sub items dot add. Now we can add the other one. So obj reader dot item, and then we will add what? We will add this guy from here, student name. So we come down here and we will add student name just like this, and we should convert to string like that, and we will add the other ones like we add two of them like that. So the next one is actually going to be age and class. You understand? So this is going to be age and this is going to be class, just like that. So after this we will just have to close the connection. So my connection dot close, just like this. And let's use try catch exception so that we can prevent any error. So try, then we paste it here, then we say MSG box. If there is any error, it should show the error. This is really, really good. So now let's test this and let's see how it's going to work. So first of all, let's click on this. Let's wait for this to run. Any minute from now. Right, so this is it, and we have an ID. It is an auto increment, so it's not really important to add any ID, but we can say iSoft original, and the age we can just set it to 25, and then we set the class to whichever class we want, and we just say insert. So there you go. You see, student data inserted successfully. Now we can click on show. Then you see we have the data inside here. So we can actually add another one like AfriLearn Tech, and the age is going to be 35, and this is class 6. So we insert, you see student data inserted, show, and there you go. So it's like recycling everything. When it has to show, we have to clear everything. We first have to clear the list box before we show the next thing. We're just going to fix that in no time. And also, if we insert, we want to show the whole thing again. So let's fix this. Now, before we do everything, we should clear everything from there. So we will say data list view dot clear, just like this, before we proceed to anything. But I would like to create a separate class to view this data. You understand? So I'll just cut everything from here. I will create a private sub called fetch data. Yeah. And inside this fetch data, that is where I'm going to add this. So I'll just call this fetch data like that from here and do that. Yeah. So let's go to the update. So whenever we update, the student is being deleted successfully, we will update this, right? Or let's just update before we show the message. So we're just gonna, update before we show the message. We update before we show the message, and we good to go. You understand? Nice. So let's see how it's gonna be for the last time. Right. So this is what we have here. And now when we click on show data, we don't have anything right here. I don't know. We don't have anything. So let's add something like, hey, then we add the age like 54. The class should be maybe class 4. Insert, we good to go. The data is not showing. You understand? Because we are actually clearing the whole data. You understand? So what we have to do is we just have to say dot items dot clear. Is the items we are clearing. Sorry for that. Yeah, is the items we are clearing. We are not actually clearing the whole list view, but we are rather clearing the items. That's why it wasn't, picking it up. So now this is it. We just click on show, and there you go. We have the data. So we have the hey. So let's add a new one like um new student. Okay, so we add the age like 23. The class is going to be JHS 3. You understand? So just gonna click on insert, and there you go. Automatically, we have it right here. You understand? So what we're going to do next is we're going to make sure if we click on any of these data, it should show up here so that we can actually update it. You understand? So to do that is very simple, but quite tricky. First of all, let's go here. Click on this list view, go to the property section of it. We have something called a full row select, right? Full row select, or let's say the row select. So you see full row select. Let's set it to true first. Now we have to double click on this, and that should give you data list view selected index changed. Now when the index is changed, let's declare index as integer. Now declaring it as integer, we first want to check if there is a data in there. So we're just going to use if our data list view dot selected items dot count is equal to 0, then we will exit the sub, right? Now, while we will use while here. Now, while data list view, then the index we created dot selected index. We will just use the I don't know how to say this, the indices. So dot selected indices like this, and then we set it by 0, like that, just like that, right? But since we want to do this, we actually have to create something, but we will try and show the data in there. You understand? So this is what we're going to do. From here, we will just say txt id dot text is now going to be set to dot items, and then the index of the item dot text like this. And we will just set the same thing for the student name, everything. You understand? So we're just going to copy this. We paste like 3 times. Yep. So yeah, like 4 times. So this is going to be txt full name, txt age, then this is going to be cmb class, like that, right? Good. So since we have this, we are actually good to go. I think we have to do a cross check to see what we have actually done here. All right. So let's go through this again, because I think So we have an index here. We are declaring an index as an integer, and we are checking if the selected items count is 0, then we will just exit the sub. So we're not going to use while, so we'll just use with here. Sorry. So with this, we will just end with just like that. Yeah, there you go. It's not while, it is with. Sorry for that. So let's use try catch exception to, you know, get rid of any error. So just say try, just paste it here, and we will just show a message which is ex.message. Great. So whenever we click on any of the rows, it's going to update with their respective values. So let's do that and let's see how it's gonna be. Then we just do some updates, we do some deletion, then we will call it a day. Right, so this is what we have here. First of all, we will show the data, and there you go. So when I click on this, you see, it is actually returning the ID to all of them. You understand? Which we don't want it to be like that. You understand? So we actually have to use the sub items instead. So to do that, this is the ID. Actually, we have the ID, but this is going to be the sub item. So we're just going to say dot sub item. Then we specify the number of that sub item. So that is going to be 1. Then we add dot text like this. So we just copy this and we paste it right here, just like that, and just like that. So this is actually going to be 2, and this is going to be 3, just like that. So we have this to let it work. Let's see. Right, so let's fetch it again. Now we click on this. There you go. You see, the data has been, set successfully. Now let's update this new student to Kwabena. Yeah, just like that. Let's just click on the update. You see, student updated successfully, and now we have Kwabena here. And if we want to see how the database is actually structured, let's click on this. Click on OK, and definitely you should see those data right here. Now, actually, the same thing really applies. If we want to delete it, just click on the hey, delete, and the student has been deleted successfully. And now refreshing the database, you wouldn't see hey anymore. Just have to click on this. You see the hey is no more added. Yeah. So I know the last thing you'll be asking is, you want the data to always fetch whenever you start the software, right? It's very simple. Just go here, double click here, and from here just call fetch data, and that will be all. When you click on this, it's actually going to fetch the whole data and bring it when the software always starts. All right, I believe this video finds you great. If you can see the data, they are now being readable right here. If this video finds you well, please do well to smash the subscribe button if you have not, and also click on the like button. Leave your comment below the section, and to get more. Thank you very much. And let me know in the comment section if you would love for me to do login and sign up for this particular project. Until then, have a nice day. And Isoft Original is out.